Making English easy for everyone.
Speak English with Jay and May.
Hey, English learners. Welcome back to Speak English with Jay and May, your cozy little place to build your English confidence. I'm May.
Hello, May, and hello, everyone. I'm Jay. How are you today, May?
I'm doing really well, Jay. Actually, something funny happened to me this morning. I was at the coffee shop and the barista asked me something and I just froze.
Wait, really? You froze? But you speak English perfectly.
I know, right? It wasn't about my English. It was because I didn't know what to say in that moment. And that's exactly what today is all about.
Oh, so we're talking about those moments when you know English, but you just don't know what to say?
Exactly. Today we're covering 9 essential phrases that fluent speakers use every single day. These aren't fancy grammar rules. These are the real phrases that make you sound natural and confident.
Ooh, I love this. Because honestly, sometimes I know the words, but the conversation still feels a little stiff.
Yes, stiff is the perfect word, and these 9 phrases are going to fix that. They're going to make your English feel alive.
Okay, I'm ready. But first, May, can I say something to our listeners real quick?
Of course. Go ahead.
If this podcast helps you even a little bit, please subscribe, hit the like button, turn on notifications, and share it with one friend who's learning English. It really means a lot to us.
It truly does. Okay, Jay, are you ready to dive in?
So ready. Let's go.
All right. Phrase number 1. You know what I mean?
Oh, I hear this one all the time. But wait, what does it actually do? Like, why do people say it?
Great question. So, you know what I mean is a connection phrase. You say it when you want to check that the other person is following you. It's like a little bridge between your idea and their understanding.
Like a checkpoint.
Yes, a checkpoint, exactly. So, for example, imagine you're explaining something complicated and you say, "Learning English takes time, but it's totally worth it." You know what I mean?
And the other person nods or says, "Yeah, totally." And suddenly it feels like a real conversation.
Precisely. It keeps the conversation alive. It pulls the other person in. Without it, you're just talking at someone.
Not talking with someone. Got it. I like this one already.
Okay, phrase number 2. That makes sense.
Oh, this one I know. But I usually say, I understand. Is there a difference?
There is a small but important difference. I understand is a bit formal. That makes sense is warmer, more natural, more like something a friend says.
Like, I understand sounds like you're in a meeting. That makes sense sounds like you're having coffee.
Yes, perfect analogy. And here's the thing, you can also use it to agree with someone. Like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense," means I get it and I agree.
And if something doesn't make sense, can I say, that doesn't make sense?
Absolutely. But in conversation, people often say, "Wait, I'm not sure I follow," which is even softer. We'll get to that one in a minute.
Oh, there's more coming. Okay, I'm staying focused.
Good. Phrase number 3. To be honest.
Ooh, this one sounds serious.
It's not always serious, actually. To be honest is what we call a softener. You use it before you share your real opinion, especially when it might be different from what someone expects.
You mean like, to be honest, I don't really like that movie.
Exactly. Without, to be honest, that sentence might feel blunt, like a punch, but with it, it sounds more thoughtful, more human.
So it's like saying, hey, I'm going to be real with you now.
Yes, and people respect that. It makes you sound mature and genuine, not rude.
Wait, here's something I'm curious about. What's the difference between to be honest and honestly?
Great catch. They mean nearly the same thing. Honestly is a little more casual and quick. To be honest is slightly more thoughtful. Both work perfectly in everyday conversation.
Okay, cool. I'm going to start using to be honest a lot more.
Just don't say it before every sentence or people will wonder what you've been hiding.
Good point.
Phrase number 4. I'm not sure I follow.
Oh, this is the one you mentioned earlier?
Yes. So imagine someone explains something to you and you don't understand, but you don't want to say, "What? I don't understand," because that might feel rude or awkward.
Yeah, sometimes I don't understand feels a little harsh.
Exactly. So instead, you say, "I'm not sure I follow." It's gentle, it's polite, and it invites the other person to explain again without anyone feeling embarrassed.
That's really smart. It's like saying, "Can you help me?" without making it weird.
And here's the interesting part. Even native speakers use this. It's not just for learners. Everyone sometimes needs more explanation.
So I don't need to feel embarrassed for saying it.
Never. It actually shows you're paying attention. People appreciate it.
Okay, I feel better. What's number 5?
Phrase number 5. It depends.
Wait, that's it? Just 2 words?
Yes, and these 2 words are incredibly powerful. In real life, most answers aren't black and white. It depends gives you time to think, and it's completely honest.
Like if someone asks, "Is English hard to learn?" What do you say?
You say, it depends. Depends on your native language. Depends on how much you practice. Depends on your motivation.
Oh, so it's not lazy, it's actually smart and honest.
Exactly. And the key is, don't just say, it depends and stop. Always follow it with, it depends on, to show you're thinking.
It depends on your situation. It depends on what you want. I like this.
It sounds thoughtful, not confused. Big difference.
This is where things get really useful, by the way. I feel like I've needed these phrases my whole life.
Right? Okay, phrase number 6. What do you think?
Oh, simple question, but super powerful.
This is one of the best conversation keepers in English. When you ask, what do you think? You pass the energy to the other person. The conversation becomes a two-way street.
You mean like, instead of always talking, you invite them to talk too?
Yes, and honestly, people love being asked their opinion. It makes them feel valued. It makes the conversation feel real.
So even if I run out of things to say, I can ask, "What do you think?" and it buys me time and makes the other person happy?
Exactly. It's a win-win. You can use it after sharing any idea. I think we should go to the beach. What do you think?
I'm thinking about learning Spanish next. What do you think? This works for everything.
And it makes you sound engaged and curious. Not just a talker, but a listener too.
Listeners at home, imagine using this in your next English conversation. Try it once and see how it changes everything.
Love that. Okay, phrase number 7. And this one is really fun. Actually,
Oh, I use this one, but I'm not always sure if I'm using it right.
so actually is interesting. It's used in a few ways. First, to gently correct something or add a surprise. Second, to introduce new information that changes the direction of the conversation.
You mean like if someone says, "You've never been to Japan, right?" And I say, "Actually, I went last year."
Perfect example. It's like a little twist, a plot twist in conversation.
Oh, I love plot twists.
And the second use, to soften a disagreement, like, I thought the meeting was at 3, but actually it's at 2.
So it's not rude to disagree when you use actually?
Not at all. It cushions the correction. It makes it sound like you're sharing information, not fighting.
This is gold. Okay, what's number 8?
Phrase number 8. By the way.
Oh, this one's everywhere.
It really is. By the way is what we call a transition phrase. You use it to introduce a new topic, something that just came to your mind without making the conversation feel choppy or awkward.
Like a smooth gear change in a car?
Yes, exactly like that. So imagine you're talking about the weather and suddenly you remember something. You say, "Oh, by the way, did you see that new movie that came out?"
And it doesn't feel random, it feels natural.
Right, because by the way signals, hey, I'm shifting the topic slightly, but we're still in the same conversation. Follow me.
It's like a little warning before you change directions.
And you can also use it to add extra information. The meeting is at 3, by the way. It's on the 2nd floor.
Oh, so it can add something and change direction. Very flexible.
Super flexible. One of the most useful little phrases in everyday English.
Okay, we're almost at the end. What's our last one, number 9?
Phrase number 9, and I saved this one for last because it's my personal favorite. That's a good point.
Oh, wow. Why is that your favorite?
Because this phrase does so much at once. It acknowledges the other person, it shows you're really listening, and it moves the conversation forward in a positive way.
It's like saying, I see you, to the other person's idea.
I love that. Yes, exactly. When someone says something smart or interesting, instead of just nodding, you say, "That's a good point." Instantly, they feel respected.
And the conversation gets better because people feel comfortable sharing more.
Exactly. And here's the thing, you don't even have to fully agree. You can say, "That's a good point," although I also think, and then add your own view.
So it's not just agreeing, it's building on the conversation together.
That's the magic of it. It's collaborative, it's warm, it's exactly how fluent conversations feel.
You know what? I want to go back and just quickly list all 9 for our listeners. Can we do that?
Great idea. Let's do a quick run-through.
Number 1, you know what I mean? A connection phrase.
Number 2, that makes sense, a warm way to show you understand.
Number 3, to be honest, a softener before your real opinion.
Number 4, I'm not sure I follow, a polite way to ask for more explanation.
Number 5, it depends, an honest and thoughtful answer when things aren't black and white.
Number 6, what do you think? The best way to keep a conversation alive.
Number 7, actually, to add a surprise or gently correct something.
Number 8, by the way, to smoothly shift topics.
And number 9, that's a good point, to show respect and keep the conversation growing.
9 phrases. That's it. Master these and your English conversations will feel completely different.
Not just different, better. Like these phrases are the glue, right? They hold a conversation together.
That's such a great way to put it, Jay. The glue, exactly. Most learners focus on vocabulary and grammar, which is important, but these little phrases are what make everything feel fluent and natural.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to practice saying all 9 in front of a mirror tonight.
That is a brilliant idea. And here's a challenge for everyone listening. Try using at least 3 of these phrases tomorrow in a real conversation, at work, at school, with a friend, anywhere.
And see how people respond. I bet they'll think you sound really fluent.
Because you will sound fluent. That's the point. These phrases are not special secrets. They're just what fluent speakers do automatically.
And once you start using them, they'll become automatic for you too.
Exactly. It just takes a little practice and a little courage to try.
May, I have one more question. What if someone asks, which of these 9 should I learn first?
I would say start with, "That makes sense," and "What do you think?" Those 2 alone will change your conversations immediately. They're easy to use and they have a huge impact.
Ooh, good advice. Start with the easy wins, then build from there.
Always, small steps lead to big confidence.
I love that. Okay, should we wrap up?
Let's do it. But before we go, we'd love to hear from you. Here's our question for today. Which of these 9 phrases surprised you the most? Or which one are you going to try first?
Leave your answer in the comments below. We read every single one and we love hearing from you.
We hope you enjoy this session. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this episode with a friend who's learning English. Every share helps us reach more learners around the world.
And we'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode. Another topic, more useful English, same cozy energy.
Until then, keep listening, keep practicing, and remember, every single conversation is a step forward. You've got this.
See you tomorrow, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.